What is the purpose of life? This question has existed as long as mankind itself, and still it seems as though there is still no answer to it that stands out as a universal truth. So, can we answer this question? And what do we have to know or take into account in order to be able to answer it? I am going to talk about scientific information and present my own philosophical conclusions to help you find an answer to the mother of all questions. To grasp the concept of life, one has to understand what life even is. For the purpose of keeping it short, I am going to compromise and simplify certain things. The term abiogenesis describes the natural process by which life arises by non-living matter. Simply put, certain molecules interacted with another, and over time they developed into more complex structures with the ability to self-replicate. Over the course of evolution, different kinds of forms of life formed, including us. But how does that help us? Before ever asking yourself a philosophical question, you should think about whether science already has an answer to it. In this case, I believe it does. The beginning of life proves that life itself is only a mechanic in which the laws of the universe operate. It does not care whether a chemical reaction is taking part in the core of the sun or in your brain following this video. That means we are only clogs in a machine that is greater than us and that life is pointless. I could end this video now and leave you disappointed. However, I want to dig deeper into why we feel existential pain, how we deal with it, and what you should make out of this information. There is an integrated drive to live for all living species. Beings without consciousness reproduce and survive through mechanics encoded in their DNA. A tree does not willingly take a decision to expand its root for stability or to grow tall to absorb more sunlight. More complex living organisms, however, developed organs to assist survival, and the one which is interesting to us is the brain. The ability of intelligence is crucial to the survival of a species which adapted it. Whales, for example, have complex social structures with languages, an incredible capability of empathy, and whales are considered intelligent. These attributes help the whales to hunt, protect their younglings, and to reproduce. Humans likewise survived in groups and used their intelligence for strategic planning, craft of tools, the development of language, and the manipulation of their environment. Speaking of which, the invention of agriculture is believed to be a turning point to the human lifestyle as it laid the groundwork for civilization. The beginning of civilization and the Industrial Revolution have profoundly changed our lifestyle in a rapidness evolution could not match. The technological achievements through that time period have provided individuals with more time, creating new means of occupations. The further technology advances, the further some of these occupations stray away from being comparable to natural activities. We have come as far as completely exploiting some of our ancient attributes and mechanisms. Technology has brought us an increasing lifespan, a free database of all available knowledge, and many other great benefits. However, social media algorithms destroy our ability to focus, commercialize our attention, and monotonous work and schools make our lives seem boring and meaningless. Going back to the whales, we went as far as causing behavioral disorder, anxiety, and depression for orcas in captivity by confining them, overstimulating them sensually, and failing to provide them with a variety of challenges. This highly suggests that mental illness and complex and intensive negative emotions are tied to intelligence. And maybe on a less dramatic scale, that is what we're doing to ourselves. Though we intended to construct a world to our liking, we have alienized our everyday life extremely. The many commodities and luxuries of our lifestyle might have destroyed our natural purpose by erasing our struggle for survival. So, are we doomed? Can we even have another purpose? And in the framework of our nature, what could be purpose? I believe there are much greater minds than me which have more or less given their stance on the purpose of life. So I'm giving a quick rundown. Kant thinks fulfilling one's moral duty is the purpose of life. Rousseau says outliving one's nature is. Bentham thinks the greatest amount of happiness of everyone is the universal purpose. Schopenhauer insists there is no purpose and we are slaves of our own will. He even argues happiness is inherently negative. Peter Singer says making the world a better place is our purpose. Sartre mentions fulfilling oneself through your own doing as one's purpose. You realize these takes are extremely colorful and that the answers are guaranteed to be subjective. To get a better picture on how broad, situational, and dependent on perspective this question is, I like this quote from Ernst Mach. If a butterfly does not have their own sense of self like the caterpillar did, a child has a different self than an old man. What point is there to shove everything under the same purpose? Paradoxically, I believe a human is closest to answering the question of if there is a purpose when they are the furthest from trying to answer it. A heated and enlightening debate with friends, dancing devoid of thoughts on a summer night, curiously admiring and wondering what is going on in children's heads. The things which give us purpose in life are those that make us forget about the cosmic indifference, the social inequalities, and the human tragedies all around us. Occupation and challenge are not to be considered as states of mind, but as one of its essential needs. However, these things should be sustainable. I'm not talking about slime videos or entertainment TikToks. Find things that you can sink into, but that also become an asset to you. Devote yourself to things that add value to your person or quality of life. That's it. We have to accept that we lost our purpose and find one ourselves. Pretty sobering worldview. We are just little biochemical factories who gain the ability of consciousness and intelligence on a small planet somewhere in the endless depths of the universe. The awareness of our insignificance makes us distract ourselves from our sorry existence. But that's only one way to look at it. The probability for the development of life has not even been determined because, as far as our best scientists and technology can tell, our planet is unique. And upon this unique planet, after billions of years of evolution, life has developed the ability to comprehend itself. And within this extremely tiny group of animals that can do so, within this extremely tiny time frame of having access to this information, you were born and have the chance to live. There is no such thing as cosmic indifference. The universe can't not care about us because we are part of it. Forget society, grey everyday life and your short and midterm worries, and realize how impossible your existence is. You are literally a miracle. And instead of growing tired and cold from how repetitive and uninspiring we make life for ourselves, realize that the process of struggle and existential dread is part of the experience. How could you possibly value light without knowing darkness, food without having experienced hunger. Living life is like constantly stumbling uphill, though often it doesn't feel like it. The things you experience are part of the progress. Struggle is an essential part of us. It's real. And instead of hiding it and talking it small, you should be proud of yourself for enduring it. Try and spend your energy on things that are worthwhile, but don't be angry if it doesn't always work out that way. That's all. I sincerely hope that I brought you even a tiny touch closer for you to learn what living means. Oh, and one more thing. Go and find your purpose. Explore the infinite knowledge and beauty that life has given us access to. Live your life open and curious, and remember to be thankful for what you have and had the opportunity to do.